I think that Correa, Lewis, and Buxton will all be active. I think all three of them are going to be active on the playoff roster. And something to keep in mind is that you can readjust your roster every round. So, if the Twins manage to advance, which obviously has been impossible for them, we won't get into that. But so these aren't set in stone. You can, once you've advanced and you get to a new round, you can change your roster up. I guess I maybe would guess that the Twins will have a 13-13, an even split of pitchers and hitters. Personally, I feel like in this short series, and you only really need 3 starting pitchers. So even if you have a 12-man pitching staff, you still got 9 guys in the bullpen available there. So, and we know the way that the Twins have managed this year. The way Rocco's managed, the way the Twins have liked to set things up is they've pinch hit a lot. They've platooned a lot. They've worked to get the platoon advantage a ton. And, how do you do that? If you stack a bunch of hitters on your lineup, you can do that a bunch. So, again, I kind of, if you made me guess, I would guess probably it'd be 13-13. But I think this makes sense to me, to be honest. And we can run this down. The one thing that was like the huge gut punch to me was that I didn't put Bailey over on this roster. He's just sort of been the extra guy, and he's just pitched well. But again, looking at a 3-game series, you already got your 3 starters. You got Kenta Maeda. You've got Paddock and Varland that can provide you multiple innings. Do you really need another guy that can go length? And Dallas Keuchel's in this conversation a bit as well. I decided no. That's probably not going to provide value for you. If anything, that guy's going to be mopping up a game. My take on Keuchel, I think he's got a chance to make it just because he's a lefty. And, my projected roster here only has 2 lefties, Caleb Thielbar and Cody Funderburk. There are some reasons why maybe you would want a third lefty depending on what team you're matching up against. There's also some reasons why, maybe you would trust Dallas Keuchel over Cody Funderburk on a playoff roster. I don't know. It's tough to say. Yeah, Funderburk does not have much major league time. He's looked really good with the Twins, had a great year in the minors, but, Dallas Keuchel's been through it all. And, they're working him in the bullpen, getting him used to pitching out of in relief. So I don't know, maybe he will make it. But if it was up to me, that's the pitching staff that I would put together. Brock Stewart, it doesn't make me feel great that he's had as little experience back being healthy again as he has, but I mean, he looked great in AAA on his rehab assignment. He's looked good with the Twins. And then the lineup, I didn't get too specific in assigning positions, but I will say this. I do think I would bet that Royce Lewis is going to play in the field. I don't know that he's going to play a full 9 innings. I don't know that he's going to play back-to-back games. But I think at the very least, he could put 7 innings out there. And I understand, I think the last update was he's still not running. We got some time. This guy's a young guy, and he's hungry as hell. Royce Lewis is not going to allow himself to not be put on this roster, I swear. He's going to find a way. Yeah, I think Royce Lewis is going to be out there, and I think he's going to be playing third in some capacity. Again, the Twins are going to mix and match and play platoons and use these guys and all hands on deck approach. Again, Correa, I think he's going to play the field as well. I don't see any reason to expect from what we've heard that he's not going to play shortstop. They're obviously taking it easy on him. Well, I think it's fine. The Twins have really no incentive to push Carlos Correa at this point. So they're taking it easy on him. There's optimism around, his injury being better than it's been. So I think he's going to be out there and playing shortstop. Buxton, I know they've been trying to figure out how to get him in the outfield. I just don't think it's going to happen. So I think he's going to be a DH/pinch hitter. I do think Buxton, even not 100%, adds more utility to the roster than, some of these other pieces that I'm leaving off. Andrew Stevenson was another guy that it was tough to leave off because I think he could be a great late inning pinch runner. It was tough. I had a tough time putting this together. Again, taking Bailey Ober off in particular was such a gut punch to me. He does not deserve to not be on the playoff roster. But he's one of the guys that absolutely, I think if they advanced, he would be back on the roster because then, you have longer series. You might need some more length out of the bullpen or an extra starter. So, keep that in mind with all these things. Is it too hopeful to think that Lewis, Correa, and Buxton will all be active? I don't think so. I don't think so. But again, like if one of them isn't, it's not. It wouldn't be good, but it certainly would help solve some of the roster crunch going on here. What do you think? What are your expectations? Who would you put on this roster? Who would you take off this roster? Again, I had a pretty tough time with this. Thanks for checking this out. Really appreciate it. Thanks to all the channel members here, the premium members. We'll talk again soon.